Hello, my beautiful bumblebees. Welcome back to another episode of You Have to Choose. This is the second book. Um, so I'm not going to talk much, but I hope you guys enjoy. I'm pretty sure it's like around the same amount of chapters as the last one, so there'll probably be at least 4 more episodes, I think. But anyway, let's get into the video. Love you guys lots. Toodles. Stan's POV. It was Friday night. I took Ryan out to get dinner for our 2-month anniversary. I decided Casa Bonita would be a suitable place. Everything was going swimmingly. Well, until we were on our way home. Stan, watch out for that deer! Ryan screamed. I looked back to the road where a deer stood. I was ready to slam on my brakes, but Ryan decided to take matters into her own hands. She grabbed the steering wheel and jerked it over to the side, and everything went in slow motion from there. The pickup swerved to the side and started to tip, and it rolled into the ditch, and we ended up upside down. Everything was silent, and I could hear ringing in my ears. Once the pickup stopped moving, I took a deep breath, trying to process what just happened. "We're okay," I reassured Ryan as I turned to face her. I was okay, but she wasn't. She sat in the seat motionless. Her eyes were closed, but at least she was still breathing. I shook her slightly to see if she would wake. Her body moved enough for me to see a large gash on her head. Fuck. I cursed to myself. I struggled to get out of the vehicle, and I had to get out but I had to get out. Once I was out, I called 911. 911, what's your emergency? The lady on the other end asked. Once I heard her voice, I realized how serious the situation was. My girlfriend and I were on the way home, and my pickup is in the ditch, and she's still in there. I cried. "Sir, please calm down. We will send help right away," she said. I looked back to my demolished pickup. When more tears came out as I let out a loud sob. Soon the ambulance came, and I got in the back with YN. I held her hand the entire way as the medics took care of her. When we finally got to the hospital, I was told I couldn't go back with her. "Please, she's my girlfriend," I pleaded. "Sir, I'm sorry. We can't let anyone back there," the nurse started, as other staff restrained me. "Stan!" Kyle yelled, coming to help take me down. I collapsed on the ground in defeat. "Come on, man, let's go sit and talk things through," he suggested, leading me to the waiting room chairs. "How did you know I was here?" I asked. The nurses called Ryan's parents and also informed them of a... What the fuck? Oh, that should not have taken me that long to figure out. The distraught boy that was with her. "They called me to take you home," he explained. "I'm not leaving without Ryan," I snapped. "I know, Stan. Just tell me what happened," he replied. "There was this deer." Ryan freaked out and jerked the wheel, and we ended up down in the ditch. I was okay, but Ryan had a large gash on her head and wouldn't wake up, I explained, holding back my tears. The next thing I saw was Ryan's parents walking into the waiting room. Both of them had tears in their eyes. Her father looked angry while her mother looked distressed. "You!" Ryan's father glared at me. Ryan's mother scolded him. "Calm down. You don't know this was his fault. It is all his fault. It was his vehicle," he hissed. I took a deep breath as a pit grew larger. There was a deer. Ryan jerked the steering wheel out of my pickup, and we crashed. I never wanted to hurt her. Her father let out a huff and sat at the opposite side of the waiting room. We spent the next hour waiting in silence. Kyle was playing games on his phone, and her parents were filling out paperwork. Dude, you really need to eat something, Kyle suggested. Not hungry, I replied. The nurse called. Mr. and Mrs. Ellen, you may come back to see her now. I stood. I don't really know why, but I did. I wanted to see her so badly. That's not you, her father seethed. I took a deep breath and sat back down. Another hour passed, and Kyle had fallen asleep in the waiting chair. Mother came back out with fresh tears in her eyes. Stan, you can come see her now. I quietly walked into the room. I heard all sorts of machines beeping, which caused me to worry. I turned the corner of the curtain to see her. Her head was wrapped in bandages, but she just looked like she was sleeping. Stan, we are going to have the doctor tell you what he told us. He'll be in any moment. Until then, we'll leave you with her, her mother said. I sat down in a chair next to her as I fought back tears. I can't believe this happened. Why did it have to be you? I would have much rather it be me. I could no longer fight them back. Tears slowly fell down my cheeks. Are you Stan? The doctor asked, coming into the room. I nodded, holding onto Ian's hand. I have good news. She will live, but where she was hit, I fear she has hit her limbic system. Limbic system, and it looks like to have major bruising, he explains. What's that mean? I asked. She will probably have amnesia, which is rare for a car accident, but if the tests are right, I'd expect her to have some memory loss. He answered. Will it be permanent? I asked. That's not likely, but I can't promise anything, especially until she wakes up. He replied. I continued to look down at her. You should go home and sleep, he suggested. You really think I'm going to go home? I'm going to sleep knowing my girlfriend's in the hospital? I glared. Stan, there's nothing you can do for her here. Go home. It's unhealthy for you to watch her like this, he advised. You don't have to go home, but you shouldn't stay here. Yes, sir. I sighed. I walked out of the room and back to the waiting room where Kyle was still sleeping. I went up to him and flicked him in the throat. Kyle let out a choking sound as he woke up. What the hell, man? He questioned, grasping his throat. Let's go to your place, I suggested. You're leaving? He asked. They told me not to stay here, I explained. All right, he agreed, getting his keys out of his pocket. We went to his place, but I didn't go to sleep. I played video games for a while, but kept losing, so I sat in the dark. It was around 4 a.m. when I passed out. I woke up around 7, sore as hell. My whole body hurt from the accident. I planned to lay there for a while until my phone started ringing. Hi, Stan. Hello? Stan, it's me, Ryan's mom. She woke up this morning. She said, I'll be right over, I replied in a hurry. Your POV. I slowly opened my eyes to a sharp pain in my head. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a nurse enter the room. Doctor, she's awake, she yelled in a panic, causing my head to hurt worse. Where am I? I think it's a hospital. Looks like a hospital. Am I the patient? What did I do? More pain came to my head the longer I thought about it. The doctor soon came in. Miss Ellen, he inquired. I slowly opened my eyes to see a young man in a white coat facing me. Miss Ellen, do you know who you are? He asked. I assume a hospital, I replied. Do you remember what happened? He questioned. I shook my head. You were in a car accident with your boyfriend, he said. I have a boyfriend? I asked. Oh, no. He mumbled. Do you know your name? YNLN, I repeated. Parents? He continued. Whatever I don't know what to do. Parents' names, yes. I answered. What town do you live in? He asked. Your hometown, I guess. I respond, oh no. Nurse, call our parents. He called out to the hallway. My parents? They aren't here? How long have I been here? Soon, my parents came and explained to me that I lived in South Park, Colorado. I was a cheerleader and I had a boyfriend named Stan. Hon, will you call Stan and tell him she's woke up? My mom asked. My father got up to make the call when the doctor came back. How are you doing, Ryan? He asked. It's starting to settle. I responded. You may get some memory back after looking at key objects. It should gradually come back, he explained, Stan's POV. When we got to the hospital, they were getting ready to discharge YN. I let out a breath. YN? That was so feminine of me. Sorry, guys. YN. He's here. Her mom smiled. She turned around, pretty as ever. There was a small bandage on her head due to the trauma. She smiled, but not at me. She was smiling at Kyle. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You must be my boyfriend. She hugged him. Wyatt's your POV. I slowly pulled away from the tall redhead. Wyan, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not your boyfriend. He blushed, my eyes wide, and crap, I fucked up. I looked to the other male, who looked like he was on the verge of tears. He walked away before I could say anything. Stan, wait. My mother called out. I'm really confused. I started, also on the verge of tears. I don't remember him. The tall male next to me pulled me into a hug as I let out a quiet sob. Stan's POV. Stan, please wait. Her mother called out. She can't remember. It's amnesia. She thought we were still living in our hometown when she woke up. She won't remember. This is all just going to take time. So now what, we just restart? I asked, holding it all together. Take advantage of it. Don't mess it up this time. She narrowed her eyes before walking away. I leaned against the door as I slid to the ground. Stan? Stan? A voice asked. I knew that voice. It was her. She slowly walked out of the shadows until I could see her face. I quickly got to my feet. We stood there in awkward silence. I'm sorry I don't remember you, she finally said. I mean, it's not your fault, I replied. I'm also sorry for mistaking that Kyle guy as my boyfriend, she apologized. It's okay, you didn't know. I shrugged. I opened my arms to hug her and she slowly accepted it. Her love wasn't there, though I could feel that. Time skip. Your POV. I walked into school confused as ever. When I got home yesterday, a girl named Nicole came over. She seemed familiar, and she talked things out with me, even though she told me some stuff that was hard to believe. She informed me how Stan and I got together, and it was hard to believe I was dating someone who put me through so much emotional distress. When I got to my locker, I didn't even think of the combination. I laid my hand on the locker. I laid my head on the locker in defeat as I let out an let out a sigh. Let's help you out, Stan offered. I moved out of the way. Oh, let me help you out, Stan offered. I moved out of the way for him to get it. When he got it open, the first thing I caught my eye was a baggy football sweatshirt. Oh, This is the sweatshirt I gave you. He looked at me in hopes I'd know what he was talking about. I gave him a blank stare. Nothing, he asked. I gave him a sad look and I shook my head. He sighed. Well, I ought to go to class. He walked away with a depressed look. I felt so bad. He seemed like a nice enough guy, but I couldn't do it. I grabbed the book that looked right for my first class when I spotted Kyle. I closed my locker and trotted over to him. Hey, Kyle, I greeted with a smile. Hey, Ryan. He grinned back. He stood with two other males. One was skinny and wore an orange parka, and the other one was fat with a big attitude. Hey, Ryan, where's Stan? The fat one asked. I'm not sure where he went, I admitted. I continued to give the two questioning looks. I'm sorry, but can I have a refresher on your names? Kenny, the parka boy winked. Cartman, I'm your worst nightmare, the fat one warned. He's not as threatening as he says. Kyle confidently commented. My frown turned into a smile. Oh yeah? Cartman challenged. What about that one time I made you suck my... That's enough story time for the day, Kyle interrupted. I let out a chuckle. Do you know what class you're headed to? Kyle asked. Algebra 2, but I have no idea where that is, I confessed. I'll take you there, he offered. I smiled and followed him to the classroom. There you are, Nicholas started when we walked into the room. Hey, I smiled, kind of ditching Kyle. Okay, so we should probably go over who's who, she said. The girl in the corner is Lisa Berger. She cheers with us. The boy in the maroon jacket is Clyde. The pink hat is Wendy. The blonde next to her is Bebe. The blue cholo hat is Craig, I interrupted. Someone already told you, she asked. No, I'm not sure why I know, but I do, I admitted, very confused. He's Greg Tucker. After I said his name, a sharp pain came to my head, causing me to flinch. You okay? She asked. My head just hurts, I stated as a tear formed in my eye. Kyle quickly came over and led me to the ground so I wouldn't fall. Craig Tucker, he's my... Don't push yourself too hard, Kyle warned. Stan's POV. I walked into the classroom, finding everyone gathered in the corner. Made my way back there, and I saw Kyle holding Ryan on the ground. Craig Tucker's my ex-boyfriend, Ryan stuttered. Everyone in the room went silent. Kyle looked up at me, speechless. Stan, I didn't bother to stick around and listen to anyone's response. Why would she remember him? Who is he when she has a 50% chance of who her boyfriend is? Oh, but when she has a 50 chance of who her boyfriend is, she's wrong. She chooses wrong. I wanted to be alone. I could already hear people in the hallway talking. Did you hear what happened to that YN girl? Someone whispered. I heard she doesn't even remember her boyfriend, another person started. I was told she is mistaken the... Oh, shit! Broflovsky guy as her boyfriend, another chimed. Not as bad as her remembering Craig Tucker's name, the first one said. I couldn't stand it anymore. I punched the locker next to me out of frustration and caused everyone in the hall to flinch. Stan Marsh, go to the counselor's office, and now. One of the teachers down the hall yelled. I let out a sigh. It has to be better than going back to class. Ryan's POV. As I could feel all I could feel was the pain in my head slowly leaving. Ryan, are you okay? Kyle asked. I took a deep breath as I stopped focusing on the boy in the blue cholo hat. Instead, I focused on Kyle, the boy I didn't know, but I really wanted to get to know. Yeah, I'm better. I sighed, slowly bringing myself to my feet. Gave me a warm smile. I'm glad. I avoided eye contact with everyone as Kyle showed me to my seat. Stan's POV. I walked into Mr. McCackey's office as he looked unamused. Stan, now I've been told you were showing violence in the hallway, okay? I know you are upset about the accident with your girlfriend, okay? But you can't go around hitting things, okay? Mr. McCackey scolded. I just hit a locker, I replied. Now, Stanley, I don't need any of your bet. Whatever, I shouted before ditching the school. Your POV. Class got over, but Stan never came back. As the bell rang, I sent a text to him. Hey, are you okay? You never came back. I looked up to see Craig in front of me. Hey, I know we broke up, but I was hoping I don't really know you, but I do know we broke up for a reason. I cut him off before walking over to Nicole. How did that go? She asked. Why did we break up? I questioned. Well, there was a lot to it. One reason was because you liked Stan, but dated Craig in hopes you'd get over him. Craig was also very controlling and talked to other girls, she explained. I took a deep breath. I need to confess something. I don't think I love Stan. Her eyes widened. But Wyan, you fought so hard to have you. I know, but I just don't think those feelings are there anymore. I think I like Kyle, I admitted. Nicole stopped in her tracks and dragged me over to the side where it was less crowded. You can't like Kyle. Why not? I pouted. He's Stan's best friend. You can't do this to Stan. He lost everything to be with you. You guys continue to claim that Stan lost everything to be with me. Why did he have to lose everything? Why was it taken away from him when he could have just gave it up? He didn't break up with Wendy. I had to wait for her to find out. From the sound of it, he was a shitty boyfriend. I don't really know how I was so naive, but I'm definitely not the same girl anymore. I spat. I know from the sound of it he wasn't quite a charmer, but trust me, he loved. Loved is the key word there. At some point I might have, but those feelings are gone. I don't know why, but I have to tell him. This isn't fair to either of us, I interrupted. I took a sigh and walked away from her. Hey, can I come over after school? Time skip. Stan's POV. It was 3:30 and Wyan was to be here any minute. Neither of my parents had any idea about me leaving school. I didn't think Mr. McCackey called. I heard the doorbell ring and I rushed over to see Stan standing there on the other side. Hey, I smiled. Hi, she quickly responded. She walked inside like it was a place she had never been before. Do you want anything to drink? I asked. She shook her head. No, I don't plan to stay long. Can we sit down? I nodded and took her to the living room. Is everything okay? I asked. No, nothing is okay, Stan. She sighed. I don't think we can be together. I know you love me, but I can't fully say I love you too. As much as I want to, I can't remember you. I'm sorry, but someone else has come into my life. Who? I asked. I'm just not sure you want to know. She muttered, Wyan, please tell me. I pleaded. It's Kyle, she replied. Wow. I gulped. I forced a smile on my face. I'm glad. She looked shocked. What? This isn't your fault, Wyan. You can't help it. I'm just glad you've gone for someone who is as great as Kyle instead of some dickhead. I tried to comfort her. She let out a tear. This is all my fault. I'm so sorry. I hushed her. This is my fault. I'm the reason you can't remember. Go be with Kyle. Don't let me hold you back from being happy. She hugged me. You are great. There's no surprise that I loved you. I gave her a squeeze, scared that this would be the last time I got to have her in my arms. She pulled away. I should probably go. I nodded as and showed her the door. As soon as she left, I broke. I let out loud sobs and I punched the wall. Next, all I saw was red coming from my knuckles. Damn it, now I have to take care of this. I got into my car and drove to the only person I knew still cared about me. I pulled up to the green house and knocked on the door with my good hand. Stan? Wendy questioned. That's the end of chapter 5. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is low-key kind of getting juicy. Are we gonna stay with Kyle, or are we gonna realize we still love Stan? I don't know. I don't really care. Stan was being a douche in the beginning, so I don't really care. Anyway, love you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles!